Hey guys, welcome to another episode of F-Stop Live. So it's the second episode of season 2, and it's been amazing so far. So we are doing them on a bi-weekly basis now. So it actually turns out that we've got a little bit more time to plan out some really nice content, so we can reach out obviously to the people that we want to get on the channel. So we can obviously interview some really interesting people. However, for this week, I actually wanted to set up in the upcoming, in the weeks to come, obviously, for the Master of Light workshop that's happening in Durban. And there's actually going to be quite a few things that's happening in Durban from Godox SA. So I said, let me just maybe get someone that's going to be very much involved in the workshops that's happening in Durban. He was recently in Cape Town also with Godox SA, and I'd like to obviously pick his brain to see exactly what he's been up to recently. But apart from that, also exactly what's going to be happening in Durban. So those of the people that are based in Durban that obviously follow F-Stop Live, that follow Godox SA, and that clients of Godox SA is going to be treated to some really nice stuff. Okay, so if you're not just a client, also if you're someone that's looking to get involved into lighting and stuff, you are more than welcome to get involved. So the person that we're going to be interviewing today, spending some time, I would say, is the Big Mac himself, Mr. Gabriel. All right, let's welcome Gabriel.
I love that, the Big Mac.
The Big Mac himself.
The Big Mac.
The African Big Mac himself.
It's actually coming. We're having, I'm dropping the news, but like a little bit of a change coming up in terms of the naming of what I'm identifying as. But I'm the Big Mac for now.
I think I like the Big Mac, eh?
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool until you're sitting in a corporate meeting and you have to say, no, I own African Big Mac.
I'm the Big Mac.
Yeah, there we go.
I think the Big Mac is better than saying, like, I'm the hot stepper. Yeah, that's the hot stepper.
Well.
No, but welcome to the guys that have tuned in. We've got Carl Daniels that's tuned in now. For those of you tuning in for the first time, just let me know where you're tuning in from. Just drop in the comments, drop your name, tell me exactly where you're watching from. I'll definitely give you a shout out. But yeah, Gabriel, how's things been recently for you?
Bro, amazing. Yeah, constant progression, constant learning, constant shooting. It's good stuff. I recently bought this camera, my new R5C, the cinema camera, probably in the third quarter of last year, and I've put it through its paces since then. Done lots of films.
Already?
Yeah, lots.
No, I did actually see that you were using the R5C. I think it's one of the commercials behind the scenes that you sent, I think for Taxi. Yeah. And I could see, hey, wait, man, this guy's using the R5C.
Yeah, it's my A cam.
And you're enjoying it?
Yo, I love it. I haven't, obviously 1 or 2 flaws, no cam is perfect, but everything I've needed to do, it's done. And the picture quality, unreal, never disappoints.
I think that's the main thing. The main thing is that you're happy with what you're using and you're getting the results, and definitely getting the results, of which the people are going to get a chance to see just now. But yeah, we've got Safiso here that's joining us from Mpumalanga. Thank you so much, Safiso, for joining us. Anyone else, if you'd like to get a shout out, just drop your comment. Let us know where you're watching from, and we will definitely give you a shout out. But yeah, so what's some of the most interesting work that you've been doing recently?
So I found myself recording lots of interviews these days, whether corporate or creative interviews. I mean, I often enjoy them as well because you can drop all the creative lighting, you get the cool boom mic. But the most fun will always be commercials, in my opinion, from pre-production to post-production to planning, the meetings, the actual shooting. So yeah, in the commercial space, I also obviously love the events, but the commercial space is definitely where my heart lies.
I know, especially when you were saying with creative lighting, and that's exactly what we're going to be speaking about today. Just give me a...
Yeah, no stress.
Just give me a second. I just had that playing in the background on my ears. Hold on. I'm going to put up a video quickly, all right, that I'd like, obviously, for the people to see, just so they can obviously see the kind of caliber creative that we have today. All right, guys? Just a second.
Hey, Sheldon. Man, so these are such fun shoots to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the kind of work that this gentleman gets up to. He does some really high-end production work for some really big brands. Some of the biggest individuals, I would say, artists in South Africa. You've actually personally got a chance to work with them.
You mean like the
So yeah,
musicians, the DJs?
yeah, the musicians, the
Yeah, I've
musicians.
met some cool people over the years.
I've seen quite a bit of that, and I think it's nice, to have someone like you within our stable, but your experience as well, your wealth of knowledge,
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing. But like even that with the first video that we put up, and I'm hoping the people were able to get some, a good quality of it on the other end. But that's all solely depending on our streaming guys. That's not Gabriel's quality. His video is absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's just the streaming quality that may be a bit of an issue. But you use two particular lights. What lighting was that?
So for the saxophonist video,
Yes.
so I had an M300 buy as a key light that was coming from the top in a 120 softbox, and then the P600 panel in the background, obviously just to light him up. Godox had sent me that light to play with throughout the week. I was coincidentally shooting Sheldon in that exact week, so I said this is a cool time to chuck it in there. So I really wanted to make sure it was lighting him up, but we could also see it in frame. And wow, it's a killer light.
So what was your plans when you set up that sort of shoot? Because
So
I think it was a video as well. I did see the full length video. It looks amazing, by the way. Your video work is absolutely on
thank you.
on
That
point.
made me
It's
blush.
absolutely on point. But yeah, what was your planning? What was your planning behind that?
So when it comes to shooting with Sheldon, there's never really much planning. He's actually a good friend of mine. So every few months we link up, and he brings like 3 or 4 songs that he wants to record, and we kind of just meet up. I say, these are the lights I got. This is the space we're working with. Let's brainstorm for the next 20 minutes, put something cool together, then hit record. So the initial idea for that was just to get some cool rim lighting and some cool warmer tones off the panel going through the back, landing on his skin, and obviously showing off the panel at the same time. So to be honest with those
Yeah.
initial planning, there's not much. It's more just a fun shoot with me and him.
There's another one. There's another one that I would like to obviously lean towards just now, and that's the commercial that you do that for the taxi. That was actually also a really nice one. But yeah, if I can just pick your brain quickly, maybe for the people that are watching, what goes into your creative process prior to obviously you being able to set up these types of shoots? Yes, I know sometimes some of them are very much fluid, and you just plan it. Obviously you get the creative, you rub off their energy, they rub off your energy, but there has to be some sort of end goal in mind when you're thinking about, I'm looking at trying to play around with this. How do you
Yeah.
plan yourself? How do you
So
plan
it's really
yourself?
dependent on the project. So when it comes to, for example, those sax videos, creative, rubbing off creative, I very much agree with that. So the end goal generally there is just to get very cool looking footage. Obviously content for him to post and run around. But in terms of a more in-depth creative process, when it comes to the commercial side, man, it starts all the way from the beginning. It comes to questions of what the product is, what the target market is, the message they're trying to get across, the colors that they use within their branding. There's just so much to consider, and it's very much a back and forth with the client when it comes to the actual storyboarding and the end result that we're looking for. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. Lots of planning, lots of back and forth. You kind of got to
With
touch with the clients. Yeah.
with that being said, I'm going to show them just quickly the video of Taxi. I think that is absolutely amazing. That's supposed to be on a DSTV advert or something
How do
like
you
that.
think?
I was
Much
looking at it.
appreciated.
I was like, "Whoa, look at this! Are you serious?" And you
So
shot
yeah,
that with the R5. You shot that with the
the R5C, yeah.
R5C.
Yeah,
With
spot
the
on. So to give you a
R5C. Okay.
background on the client, they're called Sabenza. They implement free Wi-Fi into taxis, and they have like a social media platform that you can utilize as the people are traveling to work using the Wi-Fi. So we recorded 2 videos
Jeez.
for them, both in Randburg taxi rank.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna go into that now. All right. Let me play it.
Cool. Is there sound coming through? No sound, eh, Sharon?
Was there sound on the video?
So we've been told not.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
I'm getting sound on my side. I'm getting sound on my side. I don't know. Maybe it's just something that we're not getting right with this. But yeah, that's the video, guys. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to obviously speak to the guys over at Godox SA, and we're gonna get them to post some of these videos with your permission. And at least people can see the quality of work there directly. Or you can post it in your socials and you can just drop some
yeah, sure
links.
thing. Sure thing.
But I'd like the people to obviously go and look at this type of quality that you are putting out, and show exactly what you're up to. But that was a good video. That was a really good video. I enjoyed it. I was like, oh,
Much
wait,
appreciated.
it makes sense. It makes sense. And with what you just said now, and why I said I'll put that up quickly, is the fact that you said when you are planning with the client, you would sit down and put up a storyboard and plan on how you would want to tell your story. That's exactly it. That's a story. You could just look at the video, and that video was like 30 seconds long.
Yeah, we tend to keep them anywhere between 15 and 30. It's quite difficult to keep commercials as short as that, especially when there's some dialogue in it. So you do struggle pulling out certain frames, trying to get to the points as quick as possible. But yeah,
Yes, exactly. But
short.
within that 30 seconds, you got exactly to the point.
Yeah,
You could
you
see
want to
that the
convey as
other
much
guy
you
was
can.
irritated because he's not getting in on the action while the other guy is really enjoying himself. And then finally, the guy on the left shares the moment with the guy on the right, and they both enjoy themselves. It's something that you could get the story, you could get the gist of it, and you've done that quite flawlessly.
Thank you.
So, guys, we apologize obviously for the fact that there's no sound. It's the first time that I've shared a video via the live
Oh, is it, eh?
session. Yeah, it's the
Oh,
first
how
time. So
special am
yeah, I'm even trying to check out how to activate the audio and stuff, but I don't see any sort of settings for that. But yeah, we got Craig also over here. He says he's looking forward to
Yeah.
our Durban workshops.
Yeah, I'm officially Craig's personal cinematographer.
I've seen that, and I want to get in on the action. I'm like, can you please video me?
Actually, right place, right time. Durban coming up.
Right place, right time. Right place, right time. But creative lighting is definitely something that I've seen a lot in your work, even with photography. Because if people don't know, you're not just a videographer. You're like an all-round creative. So you do hybrid
Yeah.
shooting as well. So you do a lot of video, and you also do quite a bit of photography.
So yeah, I mean, I came from a background of photos. I shot photos professionally for a good anywhere between 7 and 8 years before I jumped onto the video train for the first time. So yeah, that's very much. I don't do much shooting in terms of images today, unless it's a very creative concept that I want to hop on. But when it comes to, if you're looking for headshots or a portrait session, I tend to stray away from those and jump more on the video side of things. And it actually needs to be like that because video takes up a lot of your time, whether it's pre-production or post-production. I mean, if you edit a picture for an hour and a half, it's a long time. But if you spend 4 hours on a video, it's quite average.
And for how long have you been in the video scene now?
Oh, high-end video, I'd probably say for maybe 6 to 8 months, ever since I bought the camera last year. But I was dabbling with video probably since 2021-ish.
Yeah. But if you look at the quality,
I've learned a lot in the past couple of months.
Yes.
That's what's cool about this camera. Because it's a cinema camera, it kind of throws you into the deep end. It forces you to learn all the nits and grits of the video side, because it's not, oh man, I could go into, just to show somebody who generally shoots on a DSLR, just the cinema ecosystem and the cinema software on the back of the cameras, it's a lot. So for the first good 2-3 months, I was kind of like not knowing what's going on, but I eventually got the hang of it. So now we're here.
No, awesome. And I think the best part about it is obviously the amount of experience that you've attained in that time. So it's definitely something that can obviously benefit the community as a whole. And you've actually jumped on board with Godox SA, where you're actually looking at doing this training, and you are doing this training. So for those of you who don't know, I just put the banner up on the bottom there. You can see it says next free training, Durban 16th of September. So that's around the corner, guys. So for those of you who are based in Durban, or if you're in and around Durban, I would definitely suggest that they get involved with that as well. But yeah, we're gonna go through some of your pictures as well, just to obviously show. I understand that mostly you're doing video now, but just to still show the amount of creativity that you've had from previously. And then you can actually just speak about how you creatively light up these sort of images.
Oh, classic.
This this is a classic. I went
Lots
and I
of
just stole
classic.
some from your page quickly. But yeah, so this is product photography. This is one of your personal projects, correct?
And I did this for Krispy Kreme maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. So this
Yeah,
was for Krispy
there's
Kreme.
some
This was
Krispy Kreme
commercial work.
donuts. Yeah, this is commercial work.
Lovely.
So lighting is very simple, and I go through these because these are the types of concepts that we teach throughout the workshops.
Yes.
So these are very simple lighting techniques, and I keep them strictly to one light even within the workshops, because when you're creating these things in Photoshop, the more lights you have, the more confusing it can get.
Yes.
So yeah, one top light, 8200 and a 120 centimeter softbox on a C stand above, camera on a tripod, and you just go shooting and you put it all together in post.
So you actually built this up in post, and I think I remember seeing in your workshop recently you actually did that, where you showed exactly how you stack these in post, right?
Yeah, so that's what we do in the workshops. Is we go through the shooting side of these, how to technically shoot them, and then we go through the post-production side, teaching people how to put them together in Photoshop. So essentially, just to give you a quick, easy breakdown, is you shoot one image, the base image, which is essentially the donuts on the bottom of the frame, and then
Something
you
that's lying down
individually,
there.
yeah, spot on, something that's static, that's not going to be moving around.
Static,
Then you
yes.
stick,
Something that's not going to
yeah,
move.
then you stick in skewers through each other donuts, and you're shooting them individually above the base image. So you're just holding a donut there, putting it down, taking a picture. Next one, holding it above. Camera on like a 10-second timer, takes the picture. Then in post-production, we're cutting out each thing and sticking them onto the base image. So yeah, not a crazy process. People often look at them and go, whoa, we could never make these. But once I take you through the process, you actually sit back and go, this is not the craziest thing ever. And oh man, I kid you not, in the workshop, we're probably going through it for maybe an hour and 20 minutes. And that's because I'm taking my time explaining things. But once you get the gist of it, you can sit down and create this image in like 40 minutes, shooting and editing.
No, definitely. And okay, so I know that I said that this live is actually twofold. So firstly, obviously, to ask you, what have you been up to? I wanted the people to actually see exactly how experienced you are, which I did put up a video. Sadly, there was no sound. So I did say that we're gonna get maybe your videos put up on the Godox SA page, but the second part of the live that I actually really wanted to get in is about the workshop that's coming up. So just obviously build up for that, so people can see exactly the level of experience that's coming down to Durban for these workshops. So there's going to be 3 workshops, of which I will put up banners now so people can see the actual details, but we'll get into that shortly. Just so you can obviously say what you're going to be doing in your workshop and stuff, but we'll speak about that now. So for now, I just want to go through some of your images that I've stolen quickly from your website. This is also.
Oh, you actually went to my website, eh?
I went and stole some images there.
That's amazing. Yeah, this was for News Cafe. Shucks, but I did this in like 2019. Very easy. I just dropped the grass onto it's nothing fancy in Photoshop. So this is a cool
nice
one.
shot.
Yeah.
I can see a softbox there.
Oh no, don't hate me. I was the young shooter.
This
also
is really
News
nice.
Cafe. Yeah.
I looked at this and I was like, "Oh, this looks tasty."
That's a juicy one.
Exactly, it's a juicy one. But that's what photography is supposed to do. It's supposed to invoke some sort of emotion or emotive response from you. And if you don't look at this and feel hungry, then something's wrong. So
spot on.
I looked at this and I was like, "Whoa!"
Nice. I'm glad. Referencing back to the workshop, the specific edit and color palette that I have on this picture, I teach everybody how to make this LUT in Photoshop manually during the workshop. It's a LUT that I've been using throughout my whole career. It's very easy to make. So if people want to catch onto this kind of color range, definitely come have a look-see.
Okay, guys, did you all hear that? For those of you who've tuned in, Gabriel says if you want to learn how to set up this type of color LUT, he's going to show it in the workshop that's happening in Durban. So yeah, don't miss out. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. This was a lot of Photoshop, this one. Also commercial work.
I can imagine the amount of layers here. Look at this.
Yeah, so
That's
yeah. So it's a couple of layers, no joke. Took me maybe 2 to 3 hours to do in Photoshop. This is actually, interestingly enough, a second-hand Rolex Daytona. They like second-hand go for about 450,000 rand.
yeah.
So while I had this thing in studio photographing it for the client, man, it was a very stressful time because I was also shooting a product video. So we're like hanging the watch up and spinning it around for the clips. Yo, it was a very stressful time.
And
But
all
yeah,
the
beautiful
components
stuff.
that you see on it.
Yeah, so I didn't take the watch apart. These are from royalty-free sites, bless their soul. Just gripping them, downloading them, and then obviously putting the piece together. But no, we didn't take the watch
Oh, okay.
apart.
So no watch was destroyed in the making of this picture.
No,
So.
definitely not. The client would be killed, man.
Oh my word! Oh my word!
So
What's
yeah,
the
cool piece
value of the
though.
watch again? What's the value of the watch?
Second hand, they were telling me 400,000.
Oh my
Second
gosh!
hand, yeah. Imagine.
And we complain about camera gear.
Yeah, imagine. Well, I mean, if you have the
How
money,
many? How many 5D Max? Five? Not what's this? R5
R5C,
Cs
four of
you would
them
have got.
actually. For three and three quarters.
Mm, mm, mm. That's on someone's wrist, eh?
Yeah,
Yes.
on your wrist. These are cool ones. So the image to the left with the stacked teacups is for a local brand called Tony Glass. They make these very cool like boutique teas. Well, both
Mm.
were using the tea, but the first one was more for branding. This was private work that kind of turned into commercial work. I'd done it just to figure out the ropes in Photoshop, and then obviously sent it through to them to
Mm.
use, and they absolutely loved it.
Mm. No, this is lovely.
Sure. So in terms of the creative product images I do, this is one of the very early concepts that I did.
Earliest concepts that you've
Yeah,
got on,
because I
yeah.
never really used YouTube. I recommend people use YouTube to learn Photoshop, but obviously because I've been using Photoshop for so long, I kind of just took the pictures, then figured it out by myself on the fly. So yeah, unfortunately, I never had any Godox SA workshops. So this is very cool. You see the the light splits on the back, the way the
Yeah.
lighting is coming down the back wall.
Yes.
How I was doing that is an 8200 into a softbox, but it doesn't have the actual white piece on the outside of the softbox. And I'm putting it very parallel to the model's face. So it's shooting very direct light onto his face, but what's happening is the light is bouncing around into the softbox and then eventually shooting out one of the sides. And falling onto the back wall, but because the softbox is there, it's creating its own shape. So the light is coming, hitting the softbox, and putting a line
So
on the wall.
it's getting literally the line of that softbox is being
Yeah, so
cast
it's
onto the
blocking
back there.
itself essentially. There we go, spot on. And then
Yes,
just
yes. But it's how it works. It works out
yeah,
really nice.
they're very cool.
And
And
this
I
is the
actually
artist
figured that out.
that you had in the
Yeah,
video
Sheldon,
just now, eh?
spot on, spot on.
Sheldon.
I figured this out accidentally while taking self-portraits of myself. I wanted to see what the harsh light looks like, and I was like, "Whoa, this looks sick on the background," and then carried on doing it throughout the years.
And then you
Yeah,
deliberately do it. But that's just exactly what it is, you know. You play around with the equipment,
around,
you play
yeah.
around with the lighting, you play around with obviously what you can create, and when you see that you can create it, you remember how you did it, and you go about deliberately using those techniques again.
Spot on. It's all trial and error. Like I say to the
It's
people
all
in the
trial and
workshop,
error.
you're gonna take 1,000 bad photos before you take a good one.
That's exactly it. It's all trial and error, and I
All of
think
it.
sometimes people are fearful to actually, try. They
Yeah.
don't want to. They don't want to try it out.
And this is shot on a white wall, a white infinity wall. The coloring that you're seeing comes from that same light that I create in the workshop. FYI. I try to stress people that this is such a, if you're going to learn a couple of things from the workshop, learning how to make this light in Photoshop is really one of them, because when it comes to portraits and shooting on gray backgrounds, white backgrounds, red backgrounds, as soon as you apply this light, it gives you so much easy control when it comes to all the colors. So yeah, it's a big win. Something people must look out for, undoubtedly.
So, is that one of your trade secrets that you're going to be sharing with the people of
Yeah.
Durban?
Yeah, there we go.
One of your trade secrets. So guys, as you did hear what he said again, he's going to be sharing one of his trade secrets. That LUT, that specific LUT. Okay, so guys, if you do have any questions for Gabriel, please do not hesitate to ask it in the comments. I will definitely portray it over to Gabriel, and then we'll obviously answer it as best as we can. But yeah, I'm just gonna go through some of his work again, and then we're gonna come down to the second part of this live. As I said, I want to discuss exactly what's going to be going on in the workshop. This is
So I'm so
nice
sad
one.
you went to my website. It hasn't been updated in so long.
It's cool, bro. It's cool. Your work is amazing. Your
So
work
this
is
is
amazing.
Ty Dilla Beats. He's one of the DJs that I photograph, also a good friend of mine. I think if I remember correctly, this is just a 8290 parabolic softbox, very far to the left of the frame, nearly kind of behind Ty. As you can see, it's landing on his face, but not on the other side of his nose. And then perhaps an SR100 and a 120 softbox to the other side, just filling him up. And then that same LUT, bringing those colors in.
So that LUT has really been doing the heavy lifting. Eh? You
Well, it's
really
amazing
enjoy it.
because it's a LUT that requires no excessive downloading because you can make it all in Photoshop in like 3 or 4 clicks. So it's mind blowing.
Serious.
This is
Look at
quite cool.
that.
This is Polish food. And what I've done here is because it is a beetroot soup. So the actual soup, as you can see on the rim of the glass, it's a very dark soup. So while I was photographing it, I wasn't getting too much detail on those darks. So what I did is I put my light source behind, and then got the reflection within the actual product, just to give it a
Yes,
little bit more
that's creative. I can see it. I can
Yeah,
see it.
yeah.
I can see it. So I'm like, no, you're looking at it, but the light is coming. So judging by the base of the bowl. So just for those who are watching, if you're judging by the base of the bowl, you see which side the shadow is casting. So if the shadow is casting in your direction, then you know automatically the light was on the opposite end. So opposite end to where the camera was. That looks very
It
nice.
was pretty high up, tilted down, and it got a cool result. Very nice soup. The Polish, they know what they're doing in the kitchen. I'll tell you, it shocked me that day.
No, definite. This looks tasty. Yes, this looks tasty. Okay, a second. Yeah, I think this is actually one of them that I saw recently. I think that you did in the workshop.
So
It may
this is the
not be
exact
this
picture.
exact one. Is it the exact one?
No, so it's the exact
Okay, so-
concept. We use lemons as
Yes.
well, or oranges, except minus the water, because the water, it becomes finicky and a little bit more advanced when you work with the layers in Photoshop. So we try to teach the
Okay,
most
that's obviously
simple.
maybe. Yeah, so no, maybe that's obviously you're trying to bring in some stock images, or maybe
No, I shot
more
that water.
advanced techniques. You
And
shot the
can,
water, okay?
Yeah, no, I shot the water. It's simple. It's on a skewer as well. I'm just taking a dripper and dropping water, then photographing a bunch of photos. But I tend to stress in the workshops that people must create like 3 to 5 of these simpler concepts before they're throwing in things like sprinkles, flour, water, so on and so forth, because it can really
Spray,
confuse you.
smoke, haze,
Yeah.
those kinds. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, no, that's definitely nice, and at least people will get a gist of what you're going to be speaking at the workshop. Yeah, you also do some really good event
Plenty
coverage.
of musicians.
Musicians, yeah.
Yeah. This is a guy by the name of Jordan Arts. I shot him at a place called Katie's Palace. He's actually doing really well, always touring overseas all the time. He's actually booked me now to go shoot him main stage at H2O. And the last time I shot him was main stage at Rage. He opened for Black Coffee. We did a full
Serious?
set recording. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Give me a second. I've got just 2 more, and then we're gonna. This is also a nice one. I don't know when you did this, but this is stunning. S's.
Aha, DJ Stallion. So funnily enough, this is a very good friend of mine. And he very often comes well, he has before comes with me to the Godox HQ in Shame. He always gives them trouble wanting to get this photo printed. So this is actually very, very recent into my Godox journey.
Okay.
They had sent me a bunch of these tube lights that we see in the background. It was my first time ever touching a tube light, and today is my favorite light, 10 out of 10. So yeah, it's an 8200 and a 90 centimeter softbox as a key light, and then obviously just those backlights to light him up, and then through a little bit of light.
Where did you mount those lights? How did you mount those lights?
So this is in the old house I used to stay in. There's a like a bar area that has a glass behind it, and then a glass shelving. So I just chucked 3 of them onto there.
Oh, so you just put them on the shelving. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And then
Look at
Photoshop's
that.
a little
Creative
bit of haze into
lighting.
the background. Yeah.
That's exactly what we're talking about today, creative lighting. So I think the main thing is obviously, apart from the fact that you may have these sort of resources, and sometimes maybe you may not have these sort of resources, but creativity comes down to the fact that you want a result, and you are willing to apply yourself to be able to get that.
Yeah, and so
Who
much
would
of
have
it in the
who would
beginning of
have
the industry
thought?
is DIY.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
who would have thought just going and placing lights on glass shelving in the background of your subject, and then look at this. This is stunning. Absolutely
So do
stunning.
you know what LUT I used here?
This is the same lot.
Exactly.
It's
It's the best LUT, I'm telling you.
the best lot. No, we need to look at this lot. No, I want this lot now as well.
It's a
No,
goodie.
definitely. So this is definitely. But apart from that, there's also another point that I wanted to speak to you about, and that's gonna be the picture that I come up next. Um, I see that you've actually really adopted you've really adopted AI into your
Oh,
workflow and
plenty.
what you've been up to lately.
Plenty. Write my emails for me.
Yeah, look at this. This
Yeah.
is one that I saw. This was one that I
Yeah.
saw that you posted recently as well, and you did
So
say
this
that it was
is
AI.
this is Poonchild. Sorry, this is Moonchild and a singer by the
Moonchild,
name of
Moonchild.
Peter. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, their track was called Sweetie. I used AI to render the background, render the ice cream. All I really did was take the pictures and put the pictures together, but the rest of it was all AI.
So what's your
So it's
take
really
on
cool.
AI? What's your take on AI? It's a
I
tool that
think,
we have to use.
yeah, I think it's a great tool to get from A to B quicker. I think it's perhaps, look, I'll be transparent. I was a couple of months ago paying quite a bit of money to get my audio edited by a professional editor. And today Adobe does it for me for free in 15 minutes. So I think a couple of industries have to be a little bit worried, but I do think in terms of what we're doing, it's just a very good tool to get from A to B quicker. And I say this, I gave recently another workshop for the Youth Content Collective, and I said to them that in 10 years down the line, I will still be in production. I might just be using different tools. I might not be using a camera. It might be just all behind a computer, but I'll still be a cinematographer or producer behind productions.
So that is the intent. The intent is regardless of whatever circumstances may prevail, is the fact that you will be adaptive regardless.
Yeah,
You will
you have to.
adapt. So what you have to. It's that sink or swim, right? That's exactly
Mm.
what it is. Sink or swim. So it's either you're gonna take the situation and make the best out of it, or you're gonna be like, oh, I can't do this
You're gonna
anymore, and
think,
then
yeah. But I think it's cool. Look, 2 years ago, man, it took me like an hour to create this image. 2 years ago, it maybe would have taken 3 or 4 days. So it really is helping us get from A to B much quicker.
You mentioned now with your audio that you are also you're using AI, right? Is that like,
Yeah,
for
post
example, the
production.
video that you did with the what was it? I think the ladies. What is it? Was that the
The Give
audio
Her a
that you
Crown
used in the
for
back?
Jaguar. So,
Yes,
so
yeah.
in that one, it has a AI voiceover, which is cool. You just go type in your text there. It gives you a bunch of voice options. You can control the pitch, the speed, however you want to play with it. But what I mean by the post production is, if I'm recording on a microphone, there's some background noise. You can put the
Oh,
audio
okay,
through,
okay.
yeah, and it cleans it up, man.
Yes.
Amazingly, you can do a test on your phone where you just record a selfie video of you speaking into your phone, run it through the editing. What it spits out, it sounds like you got a microphone. It's unreal the way it
Are
fixes
you
it up.
serious? So
Yeah,
so
it
it
does it
really
like
bumps
this
up the quality. It bumps up the quality.
amazingly. Get rid of all the background sound, give some bass to the voice, it makes it sound fantastic. That's in
Serious.
Adobe Enhance. Yeah, it's completely free, but it takes like 15 minutes. I'm using it for
Yes.
everything, everything. So what their main plan is, and it's something you're going to enjoy, but what their Adobe's main plan is to make it so that, so I've got something right here. So the people that don't know what this is an audio recorder. So what you're essentially doing, this is like a camera but for audio. You plug in your microphones into here. You can.
Wait, now where is this thing?
You got one.
No, I just want to look for. Okay, it's not yet. Some other reason it's not yet. Zoom H6. I've got
Zoom
one.
H6. Yeah,
I've
spot
got
on.
one next summer.
So
Yeah.
what they're planning to do is what you can do hopefully in the future with this exact program I'm talking about is plug your microphone into here, plug this thing into your computer, and as you're recording, Adobe is editing your audio for you. So you never come out with a raw file. It always spits out a final already edited product for you to listen to, which I think is going to be awesome. So for example, with this stream, plug your mic into your H6 into your computer, Adobe cleans up the audio as it's coming through, and you got a really good sounding microphone.
I know that H6 is actually a really powerful tool, eh?
Yeah, they're very
Yes,
cool. It's very needed. I
very
tried to
cool.
avoid buying one for so long because they're so expensive, and I was just like, no, why do I need one? But eventually, I had to buckle and get
Yeah,
into
no,
this.
they are quite expensive. They are quite expensive.
Yeah, but they are the
You know,
solution.
oh, it's a good solution for obviously being able to collect audio in
Yeah,
different scenarios. Yeah.
it is the
No, but
solution.
yeah. So now let's go into the second part of what we're going to be talking about. What exactly can the Durbanites expect from this production workshop that you're going to be having?
Cool.
So just a quick one.
The,
Let me just put this up there quickly. I'll put up the details so that the people can actually see it. Just a second. Where is this now? Sorry, man.
no stress.
Okay, so this is the workshop that Gabriel's going to be having, and it's the second part of the day. For those of you who haven't been following, it's the second part of the day, and 3, 2, 1. There's it there. Okay, so free production workshop with
Yeah.
Godox, say brand influencer Gabriel
So
McCreadie.
essentially, what we do with these is, as I was saying before, on those creative product pictures with the fruits, is we take you very much deeply into the process of how we're shooting them, what gear we're using, how we're conceptualizing them, how we're selling the images, what clients really like them. I really touch base on that. You see, a lot of my images are of fruits, especially the ones I teach in the workshop. But your creativity can really be endless. You can use tech, as you saw. I did it with a watch. I've done it with handbags in the past. So we very much go through the shooting part of it, how we're mounting these products, and then we go through the post-production part where I sit down. I obviously shoot them throughout the workshop, and I sit down with those images, take people through how we put them together, answer all the questions. Then at the end, we email out a tutorial video that I've pre-recorded, so people can go home, download the assets, and then sit down with the tutorial in their own time and figure out how to put them together. And that usually takes about an hour and a half, so it leaves us with about half an hour to touch base on any other questions that people have. And people often, they have the video questions, they have the higher end production questions, the clients, how to handle clients, AI often comes up. So yeah, but the entire day is set up, I think, beautifully, starting with Craig. He does some basic free training on the actual lights and how to utilize them. I go and I sit there because I catch the end of them and I learn something every single time. So those are very worth going to attend. He goes into the depth of, or in depth of what these lights can do and where you can use them. Then followed up by my workshop, and then ends on a paid workshop with Craig where he goes through much more advanced lighting techniques. So yeah, I think
I know,
it's a fantastic setup in terms of if you can
I
attend the
know, I
whole
know
day.
you recent. Yeah. No, I know you recent. I know we recently had this, obviously down in Cape Town, and this was actually one of the things. It was a raving success. So a lot was spoken about. Obviously, the production workshop that you did, the free basic training that was done, and then also really people lost it about Craig's workshop because it was so in depth. The master class that is.
Yeah, spot on.
So yeah, well done with this one, and I know definitely it's going to be an exciting time. So for those of you who have not registered it yet, please guys, it's on the 16th of September. This specific workshop, as you can see, it's going to run between 12:30 and 2:30. So prior to this, there's going to be another workshop, of which I'll put it up here quickly, just get you the details. So this is a free basic
Okay.
training. It's going to happen. This is between 9 and 12. Shortly after this, yeah, obviously Gabriel will have his workshop between 12:30 and 2:30. And then to finish off the day is the main training that will be taking place by Craig Anderson. So it's called the Masters of Light. And he'll be going into obviously exactly what he does the best. So that's going to be at between, I think it starts at, yeah, so it says at 2:45. So guys, this is the paid workshop. So the first two are absolutely free. and this is a paid workshop. So please, if you're going to be attending, I would definitely suggest booking and making your reservation, because seats are definitely running out. So I would definitely suggest to just book early, so you can obviously get your seat and get involved. So it'll be nice, obviously, to attend. So make a full day out of it, I would say, right?
Yeah, I agree. Make a full day. I mean, it's 2 free workshops. How often in life do you get
Exactly.
free things?
So I would definitely tell the people to make a full day out of it. Come through, do the free basic training. Shortly after the free basic training, have your production one. And your one is really, I think your one is also very vital for those people who would like to get involved in product photography and
Yeah.
those type of experimenting. With being creative.
And I push
So
it more
even
than
to have,
just. Oh, sorry.
you saying?
Yeah, I push it more
No,
than
you saying?
just on the product side. I really try to, because I find that lots of photographers are very afraid of Photoshop. So I'm really trying to push people kind of into the world of Photoshop, saying, "Hey, I know it looks scary, but once you get a hold of this program, you can do so much." Can you do me a favor in the Google Drive that I sent you? Can you open it up there?
Give me a second. I can go to
Is
it
that
now.
possible?
Yeah, not a problem. What do you want me to get?
Yeah. So I'm trying to really get people into the space of Photoshop, because I think in terms of photos, you can do so much, and people are limiting themselves by not opening up their program ever. So what I often say is Photoshop looks scary, but it's only because there's 1,000 ways to do the same thing. That's the only reason Photoshop looks scary. Once you figure out how to do everything and where everything goes, you're like, it's really easy to remove this person, or it's really easy to do X, Y, Z. So
You
if
want me
in
to
that
open up?
folder,
You're not a bad photographer.
yeah, there we go. So I often say to people, you're not a bad photographer, you just don't know how to edit. So if we can go through some of these, they're just before and
Just,
afters.
just a second.
So
Yeah, they're
especially
busy.
the
They're busy
first 2
downloading.
pictures and then the 2 last pictures are the ones I want to show people. Because yeah, there is really, and it's saved my butt very many times where I've gone to a shoot and just taken a terrible picture. My settings aren't working, the lighting isn't great, but then Photoshop has absolutely saved my life. I shouldn't be saying that out loud, but yeah.
You say the first two and the last two. Okay,
Yeah,
my
so just the
system's busy
before and
downloading.
afters. Cool.
Yeah, I know it's busy downloading.
So yeah, Photoshop's the way. I often don't. The only time I open up Lightroom is when I'm doing some batch editing for perhaps an event. But I live and breathe in Photoshop, and if there's 30 or 40 pictures I need to edit, I'm most likely going to just take the time punch and edit them in Photoshop regardless.
I think this is also the same thing that's happened with me, and I think with myself, with regards to in 2020, this was 2020. When we had the whole lockdown, when we went into lockdown, and I was never a photographer at that specific time to use Photoshop. So I used to use just Lightroom. I was a Lightroom guy, although I had Photoshop. I had all of that there set and ready on the PC. I just didn't use it, and I used to keep just keep it to the basic editing on Lightroom, and get the pictures out to the customers, and I was happy with that. But when we went into lockdown, I was like, no, wait, let me just go and try out this Photoshop. And when I started using Photoshop, my work went from here
Yeah, spot
to
on.
I promise
Spot
you, it
on.
skyrockets. And I think understanding, you've got Capture One, you've got Lightroom, you've got these softwares that work really well with editing, images. But if you want to go into advanced editing, if you want to do some really precision work, Photoshop is definitely the place that you do that. So, like
It's
in my
definitely a
case right
solution.
now, I use Capture One. I use Capture One. However, I still revert to Photoshop when I want to do my high end editing, and then I bring it back into Capture One. So that's just my personal preference. But I use Capture One, Photoshop, back Capture One, and then I
Yeah,
export.
spot on. As long as you can, you don't need to use Photoshop, but as long as you can use it, because especially the new creators, they don't understand how often you're going to run into a problem where you think, oh, I wish I understood Photoshop right now. So it's worth learning. It's definitely worth learning.
No, it is definitely worth learning. I think it's actually taking quite a bit of time to download. I don't know how big these files are.
Well, they shouldn't be
What
too
is it?
big.
Maybe. Let me see. Let me cancel this. I think maybe because of the bandwidth. The bandwidth must be
And they're
really
like
low here.
5 megabits, 5, 6 megabits.
Let's see. Yeah, but even with what Damien just says over here, and this is something that I actually heard about. So the fact that I'm in Durban and I could hear, that there's waves being made down in Cape Town. There's waves being made down in Cape Town. Gabriel rocked up and Craig rocked up, and you're really, you know, you really was successful with the workshops there. So the guys over here in Durban, they can't miss this out. So honestly, they can't miss this out. So if they are watching, and if you are gonna be watching, guys, these guys are coming to do some really amazing stuff here in Durban. Just don't miss out. Okay, we've got Mark over here. Thank you so much for joining.
Hey, Mark, one of the people I met there in Cape Town.
In Cape Town, yes, I saw the pictures. I saw the pictures.
Finally.
Yeah, no, Mark's work is amazing as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Mark.
So yeah, the workshop's definitely a great opportunity. And I'm glad to be hosting them because these are my first sets of workshop. Obviously, starting in Joburg, moving to Cape Town. Now we're going to Durban, and I'm very fortunate to have covered all three places in the past 3 months. Obviously, with the support of Godox, so shout out to them. But yeah, they were very nerve-wracking in the beginning, but now they've become absolutely fun. And I think something I discovered in the Cape Town workshop is that when people attend, they tend to come like a little bit stressed out. They're scared to ask questions. But I learned recently that as soon as I tell people my age, that I'm only 23, a lot of them kind of like their shoulders dropped and like, oh, this is a kid speaking to us, so we don't really have to be so stressed. And they really become very, very engaging. So it's very cool.
I think, but at the end of the day, regardless of the fact that you may be young, the truth is you are a powerhouse in the industry. If age is honestly just a number. What does shine through is the fact that you've worked hard at what you do, and you've excelled at what you do, and you are where you are not because of someone is being favored. Maybe there's no nepotism or anything. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not as if you are in a position where you are now because you know someone. No, you're here because you work hard. You're in this position because you work hard. Look, there's an image I've just put up quickly. You can.
So this was a very cool one. These are the only ones I downloaded. Did you grab all of them?
I'm busy downloading the others now.
So yeah, this is again just the possibilities of Photoshop. Very simple concept to put together. Maybe because I did a cover artwork of the band and then a bunch of individual shots with the same editor, and very simple, but it pushes it to the next level. It opens the doors. Like I say, people are kind of blocking their creativity by not utilizing Photoshop. I sound like such a Photoshop fanboy.
You do sound like a Photoshop fanboy. I don't know. Maybe we need to see if we can get you to being a brand influencer or an ambassador awesome. for Adobe. Yeah, that would be big. Yeah, that would be big. We need to contact them. Just give me a second. I'm actually almost done here.
So yeah, man, all fun things. All fun things. And it's really cool, obviously, working alongside Craig. I remember at the Godox day, it was quite like I would definitely say a milestone in my career, because growing up, I've always looked up to Craig, I've always looked up to Emmy, I've always looked up to Andre. And then obviously being under the same brand in the same room with these guys, working alongside one another it was a crazy time. I was kind of like pinching myself every moment, going, "Whoa, this is real." So it's cool stuff to roll with Craig. And Craig has cool shooting methods.
I think apart from the fact that you actually rub shoulders with these giants in the industries, you understand that growth has caused you to be in a position where you can rub shoulders with them and hold your own. So I think just be proud of that as well. So you've come really far, Gabriel.
Yeah, we've been trying. It's the hard work, sleepless nights.
Okay, so I've downloaded this. Just give me a second. I'm trying to get to
it
as quick as possible. I think it should be right. Is it still downloading?
Is it? Shame. Sorry, I sent you some big files here.
You sent me some really big files. Okay, there's a chat. 3, 2. Okay, it's still opening. I think I'm giving up at this stage.
That happens. Go to my Instagram. They're all there. African Big Mac.
Wait, there's one over here. So this is actually a before. Just a second. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so the other one's downloading. To take people through this in the beginning, just while the other one's downloading, the bottom picture is a picture I took. The two top references are assets I downloaded off of Google. So it's very simple. It's a girl sitting on a chair by a window, all natural light. I kind of had the idea of her falling through the window. And then I downloaded these two assets on top to create obviously the next picture we're going to show you once it's downloaded. And this is funny enough, I did this when I was 19, so 2019. It was one of my first internationally recognized or internationally published images overseas where a gallery came across it and said, no, we need this.
So this is what you took. This is what you took, and this is what you created with it. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, precisely. So as you can see, if you tilt her head, she's still sitting on the chair by the window. I've flipped the image up on its side. I've photoshopped out the chair. I've photoshopped out the window, added the grass around there, then as well as the sky, to kind of give you like somewhat of a Alice in Wonderland falling down the rabbit hole vibe.
Falling down the rabbit hole. Yes, I think I was about to say
Yeah.
it gives you that falling down the rabbit hole vibe. That looks very nice.
Yeah, Photoshop. Oh, yeah. So this is another one. This is an artist called Vickers. He's a select music artist. We were just running out and about shooting some. We had the idea of some social media content as well as an artwork. So what I said was, let's spend 3 hours together. Let's just shoot a variety of images, and guaranteed there will be an image in there that I can use to make into an artwork. So if you want to show the after. So yeah, he has after a bit of a Windows desktop screensaver vibe.
Is that the Windows desktop picture?
No, but it looks very similar. No, but it looks very similar.
It looks very similar. Yes, it's got that stock look.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
That's what I say to people, you're not a bad photographer because that first original picture of him sitting on the bench is a terrible picture. You're just not a bad photographer. You just don't know how to edit. So once you figure out how to put all the things together, you can really create magic.
I think the biggest thing about what you're up to, and I think I can definitely root for it, and I admire it, is the fact that you are challenging people to look at Photoshop in a different light, and that workshop that you're going to be having in Durban is definitely going to be a good one. You can challenge people to actually look at instances like this, that you can be creative, and it's honestly just your imagination. I see that obviously with your AI work as well and your post-production work. So this is stunning as well. Learning how to push the bar and go beyond the things that we used to. Because believe me, some people just want to take pictures and post it just like that.
There we go. But you can really, and these are not hard pictures to create. After the workshop, I've obviously had quite a few people send me their designs and what they learned from the workshop, and people are pulling it off, man. It's really not that difficult. It looks very scary. People are thinking this image here that we're looking at right now is very scary, but it's way, way, way easier than you would expect.
Yeah, no, we've got quite a few people that actually joined. We've got Yves Matuba that joined. We've also got Andrew. Thank you so much for joining. Andrew had an awesome session on Wednesday as well. So for those of you who
also met him.
And we've still got Carl.
Carl created a very cool one from the workshop. He had sent the Joburg one and then sent me a cool one with cameras and with lenses. Sorry.
Yes, I saw. He did. I think I saw the one that he did with the what's this, the Godox 8300.
Yeah, there we go.
Godox 8300 was that was a nice one. That was a very nice one. Wow.
So you can ask him, guys. These are not hard concepts to grasp, not hard to do.
Yeah, no, that's definitely going to be an awesome one. So I know for a fact that I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome day. So as I was telling the people, the viewers, those that are watching, make a full day out of it, because you're looking at being busy from like 9 all the way to like, what is it, past 2. If 2:15 is the last one, so yeah, that's going to be a whole day. So come out and meet the team. The Godox SA team is going to be out there in full swing. I'm going to be there. The Godox SA brand ambassadors are going to be there. You get a chance to meet all of us and be able to obviously mingle and get a chance to work with some really awesome people like McCreadie. You're going to get to pick his knowledge. And by the way, as he said, he's going to give you that lot as well. So
Yeah.
can I
Spot
get
on.
the lot? Can I get the lot?
Yeah. Say please. Say please.
Please, can I
Okay.
get the lot?
I'm sending it to you right now.
No, awesome. But yeah, thank you so much for
No,
joining
thank
us.
you.
Thank you so much for. I think the main thing is what I wanted to get to the fact is obviously being able to show people exactly what you do and exactly the caliber of photographer that you are, so that when they understand the workshop that's happening, it must be able to create expectancy. People must be able to expect great things because Gabriel is coming down. Because I know I'm excited to have you down, and people should also share in that excitement that I have. But Gabriel, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it, man. I love the kind words. You absolutely make me
Is
blush.
can you
Cool.
share with
Straight
obviously
on.
the viewers? Can you share with the viewers where they can obviously tune in and find you?
On Instagram, African Big Mac, africanbigmac.co.za. And keep your eye out on there. I am dropping a new brand coming soon, based mostly around cinema production. So yeah,
Okay, and
African Big Mac. It's me.
anything else? Anything else that you have planned in the pipeline that you want people to tune into?
Yeah, carry on having a look there because I've got four cool products in my studio right now that I'm about to drop and record reviews on and a little bit of tutorials on. Three of them being Godox products and then one being a matte box. So keep your eyes peeled off my Instagram there because it'll be out soon.
No, then that's going to be awesome. Gabriel, we're going to look forward to that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Enjoy this evening.
Cheers. Cheers,
Cool,
bud.
cool.
Bye. Okay, guys, so that was Gabriel. He's a Godox SA brand influencer. Absolutely amazing person to work with. So yeah, he's going to be coming down, and they're going to be hosting obviously a host of a host of workshops. I'm actually just going to put up that information just for the last time before I close out for the evening. So as I did say, it's going to start off. It's going to start off with the free basic training that's going to be taking place. Shortly after the free basic training, you've got Gabriel that's going to be doing obviously the production workshop. So he's going to be going in depth into obviously how he does editing, and in fact how he sets up the shoot, how he does the shoot, how he lights it up, and from taking it into post production, the type of editing that he does. He's also said he's going to share the LUT with you guys. So the LUT is basically the file that's going to be able to get that editing done. So the editing, obviously the color schemes that he wants to set up, that he basically uses for most of his work. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one. So the details are as follows. So Craig Anderson is going to be hosting the free basic training. So you have to register, guys. So it's not something that you can just show up with and expect to be a part of it. That's not going to happen. So just go to the Godox SA page. You'll find the link dropped in the comments. Go to the Godox SA page, go to free training registration, click on it, put in your details, and register for the free basic training. Once you've registered for the free basic training, there's also the training that Gabriel's going to be doing. It's the production training by Gabriel. Click on that there, register for it, and then I would definitely suggest registering for the master class that Craig will be having towards the end of the afternoon. It's going to start at 2:45, so that's 15 minutes to 3 o'clock. That's going to be taking place. So definitely register for that. That is at a cost. So I'm going to just put up that details quickly. So I told you about the free basic training. The last one is the Masters of Light. So join in. As you can see, it's at a cost of 1250, and it's going to be training done by an amazing photographer. Craig Anderson is actually one of the senior photographers, and when I say senior, I'm talking about level quality. This guy is right at the top. So yeah, at least you'll be able to get that done and dusted. But guys, thank you so much for joining with your host Sherwin, Godox SA brand ambassador. And if you are going to be looking at purchasing anything from Godox SA, please use my discount code. It's Godox Sherwin, and it'll sweeten the deal. So yeah, drop me a DM if you want to connect. I'm still leaving it out there to you guys. If you want us to host someone that you know, maybe you're looking at getting one of your friends on the show, maybe one of your photographer friends that uses Godox products, and you feel as if they have the quality for me to contact them and interview them. You drop their name in the comments. Tell me who you think I should interview next, and I will definitely consider it. So in the coming weeks, you're gonna get to see some awesome photographers. Drop their names, drop it in the comments. Let me know who you think I should interview, and we'll take it from there. But guys, thank you so much for joining us on another episode, and I look forward to seeing you for the next one. All right, cheers, guys.